Welcome to the Town of Munster podcast, coming to you from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Now here's your host.
Good morning and welcome to This Week in Munster. It is Tuesday, May 20th, and it's your twice-a-month show that we highlight the different things that are all happening in the town of Munster. Today's show, we have members from the Munster Civic Foundation, Deanne Hulsley and Liz Madronzak. You guys want to say hi real quick?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
And my name is Chuck Gardner. I'm the one of the town councilors. And first thing, before we get into some of the exciting things happening with the Munster Civic Foundation, I do want to kind of highlight, we did have our town council meeting last night. Not a lot of things on the agenda. A lot of the basic things, some communication things were awarded, and some just authorizations that are kind of more or less pretty basic day-to-day type stuff. There are two big things that I do want to mention to the residents that are kind of timely. This is next week is Memorial Day, which means it's a national holiday, that our garbage pickup is always delayed one day during a holiday week like that. So if your garbage pickup is usually on Wednesday, it'll be on Thursday next week. And Deanne, I guess if it's on Wednesday, then it's on what day, the garbage pickup?
Wednesday's Thursday.
Yeah, right. It's always a day later.
Friday is Saturday.
Yeah, see, so we have that taken care of.
Yes.
The other item that's maybe even a bigger issue, and again, we want to ask everybody's kind of just feeling a calmness when this happens. There is a big construction projects happening on 45th. They are replacing the bridge. That is the Lake County Bridge, so it's a Lake County project. It's not a Town of Munster project, but it's happening in the Town of Munster, and it's going to cause, starting next week, I think it's May 27th, which is a Tuesday.
The day after Memorial Day.
The day after Memorial Day, which is usually the day after Memorial Day is a Tuesday, correct, Deanne?
Correct.
Okay. As long as we got that squared away, we're all set. But the 45th Street in that area from White Oak Avenue to Southwood will be closed because that bridge is going to be completely out. It was only going to be a one-way detour at that time, but because of safety issues and actually the need to try to get the bridge to be replaced faster, they're going to close down all of 45th Avenue at that spot. There are detour maps that are going out. The detour that will be announced and promoted throughout the streets is anybody on Calumet Avenue will be asked to go to Main Street and then take Main Street around. We are not detouring people into local neighborhood streets. However, we do apologize for some of the inconvenience of there will be local traffic in those neighborhood streets, and we just ask everybody's patience with that, and we apologize for the inconvenience, but that is something in the name of safety we need to do those things. So,
Absolutely.
I think that's enough of me rambling on about the council meeting. Is that right, Deanne and Liz?
If you say so.
Okay, so now let's get into the Munster Civic Foundation, because that is one of the arms that all five council members are the board of directors for the Munster Civic Foundation. And again, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of neat things happening with the Civic Foundation. You might ask, what is the Civic Foundation? Is that what you're asking, Deanne?
Or what isn't it?
Oh, okay. Well, it's really citizens invested in a vibrant and involved community, which means a lot of different things. We're trying to get people involved in the town, try to create that sense of community in the town. One of the things that we're doing is the summer concert series. A summer concert series down at Centennial Park, and that starts up Tuesday, June 17th. Goes on a number of different Tuesdays throughout the summer months, and also on 3 Fridays, June, July, and August. So we certainly invite you to go to the town website, munster.org, to find out more information about the Centennial Park series, the music series. But what's most important, there's another neat project that's kind of certainly a unique. It's the first time that the town of Munster is doing it, and it's called Electrifying Munster. And Deanne, can you kind of give a little bit of background on what's the poster that's right there? What is that poster? So can you kind of give a little bit of background about the Electrifying Munster, Beauty in the Box?
Sure. This is the kickoff or official announcement for this program. So throughout town, there are 34 gray electrical boxes, mostly at intersections where there's traffic lights. Yeah. And the town happens to own them. So they're gray. They're not pretty, people. There's nothing sexy about them, okay? And we had seen this in other communities. Valpo has done this. Down in Florida by my mom's place has done this, etc. We found places in California and even in Canada and Wyoming. Right. So they wrap the box in vinyl with
Original
artwork. And so this is a picture actually of a box. We took it off the internet. We're not going to lie, but this is what a gray box can look like. So right now, we are looking for artists who want to be included on a list, and graphic artist. And the information is actually on the town's website as well. And there's an application process to go through for that. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, by June 1, we kick off the sponsorship sales. Liz, you want to talk some more?
Sure. So right now, as Dion said, we're looking for artists. And if you go to munster.org/electrifying, there'll be the information for the artist, like the application, the size, the dimensions, all that kind of stuff. And we ask that you fill out an application and email it back with some samples of your work. And then that, if you're approved, then we will make that available to all the sponsors of the boxes, and they get to pick the artist that they like. And you will get paid, and but it'll be beautiful because you get to come up with your own original stuff, and it truly makes a difference in the aesthetics of the town. Right now, before I started this program, I never even noticed those boxes. They're whatever. Now I look and I'm like, ew, that could be better. That could be better. So we'd love to have you be a part of that.
It really is something, though, when you start looking at utility boxes. I know the first time we started talking about these, people started saying, what are you trying to do? But it's much like a little bit of what happened late last year with the building next to down in Ridge Road next to the
Water's Edge.
Water's Edge has a mural. Also, a little bit farther, the candy shop that's there. What is it? Right along Ridge Road there.
Sweet Shop.
Sweet Tooth. You start seeing art beautifying buildings. This is very much the same process. And again, it's just that the ability to create a little bit of excitement in town, I think, is what's really neat. Again, we want people to go to munster.org. We do have a special, you said / electrifying. But at the same time, if you go just to munster.org, right now the top two items on there are the Beauty in the Box program, the call for the artists, and the submission form. But again, how many boxes do we even have in town? Is this like a 1 or 2 type thing, or is it more than that?
Currently, we have 34. We might have 36 by the end of the year. Who knows? They're kind of like trebles. They multiply. And we realize we won't sell all 34 right this very minute. But if we can sell 10 this year and then more next year, et cetera, this is a long-term project.
Right.
What will happen, though, is once you, the business, the civic organization, or, individual, hey, we don't care, okay, make the commitment, you will work with your graphic artist, whether it's somebody you know personally or one from our list, and then the Civic Foundation has to approve it. There's, there are some rules: no advertising, no political announcements, et cetera, and then it goes for production to the what do you want to call the people who produce the vinyl, and they have to come and install it. A lot of this is weather dependent too, so we're not flip-flopping bikini weather 52 weeks of the year, as evident today.
Yeah.
Today would not be an installation day. Okay,
No, not at all.
So we realize that pretty much, if it's not installed by Halloween, it's not going to be installed until next year, unless we're having one of those weird hot days.
Exactly. And Liz, thinking back to like the tulips, that the town did a couple years ago, what was your impression of how the tulips really kind of changed the way people talked about some of this artwork and things like that?
Well, I mean, it is a talking point. People like to go around and tiptoe through all the tulips, or you're driving past and it's like, wow, what is that? So it's just another way to beautify the city. I love art. A lot of people do, obviously. And so these kinds of projects provide new and interesting canvases, if you will, for artists to display their talents and give us all something lovely to look at.
Exactly. And Deanne, again, you've been involved in Munster different ways here and there over the years. It kind of also reminds us of some of the current artwork that we actually have in town. And again, kind of our wish is to hopefully take this program to the next level. Can you expand upon that a little bit?
Yes, with the tulips as well as the other public art installations, and then hopefully we can have an art map, an art walk. And it's not happening today, people, okay? Rome wasn't built in a day, okay?
I thought if you would talk about it, you could do it tomorrow.
Well, we thought we could too, okay? So if us two were in charge, come on, I think you've learned that after
Exactly. Understand.
Chuck had a full head of hair at the beginning of the year, so now look at this, okay? But, hopefully next year we're going to be talking about an art map and art walk, because there is art in Munster and you don't realize it is because it's piecemeal. It's scattered. So think of it like we're building a pearl necklace. Everything, there's one pearl. Let's put a chain around it and let's start stranding it together. And it's a way to take pride. When we spoke with the people in Valparaiso, they didn't expect this to happen, and it was a good was the number of social media posts that they received from people taking their pictures in front of the various boxes. It took on a life of its own, and we received that feedback from other communities as well. So do we expect that on June 1? No, come on, but we'll get there.
But maybe we'll get there. June 1 of 26.
26.
Yeah. And then that's really, in a nutshell, what the Munster Civic Foundation is really all about. If we try doing this kind of like with tax money and saying, okay, we're going to make a decision. We're going to either pave roads or do utility box decorations. That's a hard sell to make. Right. But that's where the Civic Foundation really comes in, to be able to do those things that kind of foster and improve community spirit and community pride. And again, that's what these type of things do. It's kind of like that broken windows philosophy. If you see a broken window, you fix it, and then everybody feels proud that you have a nice, clean community. Sure. And there's nothing better than if you do drive around now and you see these utility boxes that are gray, some have rust on them, and we start covering those up with this artwork. I think there's a lot of neat things that you're going to see.
Sure. And all you business owners out there, you'll be getting a call soon. Don't hang up on us. But, we really think that this is a great program and a great way to support the town of Munster. So we will be talking to you soon.
No, very good. Some of the logistics. We talk about starting this off and kicking this off with the call to the artist right now. Right. If somebody is interested in purchasing a box or finding out more information, when do you think like the first round of installations will take place? This is kind of...
If we were in charge, next Wednesday. Okay, so, but we're just in the beginning here. We're just going to have to get into a groove, people. If we can start getting some things installed, Labor Day, it's just going to depend. We also don't want to, with our vendor, just give them onesie twosies. It's more cost effective if they have a few at a time to prepare and install. Because I think, Chuck, they said to you they can install 3, maybe 4 a day. It just depends on the logistics. Right. But what's great about this is, again, we have 34 locations. So Southwood and Franklin, right across the street from Frank Hammond. Main Street and White Oak, at the Dyer, White Oak, Munster kind of border there. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can choose which box you want. It's first come, first serve, people, though. So, And we have a picture up on the screen. Thank you. See how pretty they are?
That might even be the Southwood.
And that is what that can use. That can look like. That is actually a picture of a box across from a junior high school in Florida, and how they wrapped it. So it's beautiful. I will tell you, it's very weather resistant because that box was probably a good... It went through 2 hurricanes, and there was probably 4 feet of water on that street. I took that picture in January, and I didn't see a water line. It came through great. So they are very weather resistant. The town will keep up with if there's graffiti damage. all of that stuff. If, as the business owner, just hypothetically say you sell out, you sell your business or something, we have some safety holds. I know I'm missing a word here that we can handle this.
There's some contingencies in it.
That's the word.
Exactly.
That's the word.
Now, you talk about, again, partners, and we're certainly looking for partners, community sponsors, and things like that. But one of the things that I think is going to be unique also about this is there's two utility boxes on Columbia Avenue, right by the school. And we're in the process. We haven't formalized all this right now, but there's the wishes of really our group to work with the school on some of these. Can you guys kind of expand upon those boxes and just what we're looking to do there?
Sure. Well, like one across the street from the high school, middle school, will be donated or dedicated to the Best Buddies program, and there will be a student artist that will do the artwork on that. We don't have the details yet, but things like that, we will work with the schools, we will work with the organization, and there's a couple freebies out there.
Yeah. Well, and again, there's nothing better about this than really bringing the community together. And again, I think everybody in Munster really looks to the schools as a bright spot in the town. And the more that we work with the different schools, we realize the strength in the schools is a lot of the students. And if we can get the students involved in this, I think it's a great opportunity for us.
And the students can apply to be on the artist list.
Right.
When we reviewed Valpo's list of artists, I think they had 3 or 4 students that design boxes.
And what's unique about the boxes compared to the tulips is the tulips was all paint and that type of artwork, where the utility box is a little bit different. There might be a different artist that we were actually looking for with this type of thing. Can you guys expand upon that a little bit?
Exactly. This needs to be a graphic artist, and and we have all the details on the website.
We don't speak that language. We do not speak that language, but we have it all printed out.
Yes.
You guys spoke the language about garbage pickup on Monday if it's delayed a day is Tuesday. So at least there's some languages you guys can talk about. So
exactly.
That's good.
Exactly. No, but so because this needs a special kind of artist, you don't have to be a Munster resident to apply to be one of the artists. We are opening this up to Northwest Indiana, nearby, but again, for someone my age, this sounds like it's like impossibly difficult. A younger person would be like, oh yeah, this is just, I just go blue, 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 and it's done.
This is Tuesday. Okay. So.
Yeah.
And I guess I should say that this is Tuesday, May 20th. You reminded me I have to give the station or the update. It is Tuesday, May 20th. This is this week in town of Munster. This is our twice a month show that we do have. We highlight, promote different things that are going on with the town of Munster. My guests today are Liz Madronsic and Deanne Hulsley with the Munster Civic Foundation, and my name is Chuck Gardner. I'm with the Town Council, also with the Civic Foundation. And while it's very heavily promoting the Civic Foundation and the Utility Box Beauty and the Box program, see, you got me.
Sorry.
We do want to encourage everybody to enjoy the summer events that are happening within the town of Munster. The Parks Department has their new brochure that came out in the last week and a half or 2 weeks. There's all kinds of programs going on there. We have a website, munster.org, that has a lot of different activities, a lot of different things that we want to highlight, promote. And we also wanted to, again, remind everybody that 45th Street, the bridge over the ditch is being just redone, and again, we thought we were going to be able to keep one lane open each way. However, that for safety reasons, that has now become a full road closure. 45th Street will be closed next Tuesday, May 27th, until the probably middle part or end of October. We are asking for detours to go down to Main Street and get around the property. And there will be signs that the Lake County highway department, which is working on this bridge, they'll be taking care of that. But again, we want to encourage everybody to use the detours. Go down to Main Street. Don't utilize the local roads as your detour. So, but with that, we probably have 5 or 10 minutes here left, maybe, to talk a little bit more, because we can't talk enough about electrifying Munster, the Beauty in the Box program. And again, I really think it is kind of the laughter, the excitement that we're showing here is something that we really want people to really feel that excitement, because this is really going to change way people look at Munster, much like the tulips did, much like the building artwork did the last couple of years.
Correct. And we realize this is going to be a multi-year project. And
but that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. You can't have it all at once.
Right. And like Dion said earlier, these contracts are good for 2 years. So we're going to be rotating. Now, if a business wants to keep the artwork and up it for another 2 years, that's great. But maybe, like we talked about, maybe things changed, so we'll get something new in there. But it will be constantly updated.
Correct. And also too, one of the themes that we had internally discussed too is we have a celebration for our country coming up. And so I was a child of the 70s, and I remember the bicentennial. Right. And then 10 years later, you're still seeing bicentennial signs that are so faded and stuff. So this is a way just to keep things fresh, not get tired, of it. And if you think about it, these intersections, in many cases, this is our front door. So as a homeowner, a renter, your front door tends to be welcoming, and we want to make the town welcoming.
Yeah.
Right. We want to do that, and at the same time, we want to give people an opportunity. If they're excited about Munster and they want to show off Munster the way they want to see it, they want to see an exciting, vibrant, involved community, we want to give them that opportunities. And again, that is right now, it seems like there's 2 ways to get involved in this program. One, it would be an artist.
Correct.
And Liz, let me just, again, if you can just explain, if you're an artist out there, what's the best way to get involved and get information? If you're an artist and you just want to find out more things about the art part of this.
Sure. Go right now to www.munster.org/electrifying, and there are 2 documents there that are just for the artist. And again, it gives you the general dimensions of the box and the requirements, like what format everything needs to be in. And then there's the actual application that you fill out.
And we're not looking for you to design a box.
No.
We just need some
examples of your artwork.
Yeah, up to 3 examples of your artwork, okay?
Yes.
Because what you design, you have to work with your client on this, okay? And, your client may be looking for something different than what you're envisioning with this.
Exactly.
Right. And again, even if you're listening to this and you're not an artist, but you know of an artist,
yes,
please pass that name along, that the Munster.org website, because again, that's where we want to get the word out about that.
And we would love to, in a perfect world, okay, and I don't live in it yet. By
well, the last 25 minutes have been perfect.
Yes,
hasn't it?
Of course. By June 19th, our plan is actually to close the applications for artists, because we have to start curating this list.
Right.
And then the other thing that's kicking off at the same time here is we hope to, by June 1, start the sales. And what's holding us up right now is the map, okay, because, I don't know, traffic people don't talk the same language as sales and marketing people. So we have a little disconnect here. So it's a very crude map of the loketions.
It'll get better.
It'll get better. We have a vision. We don't understand why they don't have the same vision. So, whatever.
It might be the people on the right side and the left side here.
Whatever.
Left brain, right brain.
So, but to sponsor a box, there's 2 prices. $2,000 if you are supplying your own graphic artist.
Right.
You are a major hospital, wink, wink, and you have your own, sales and your own marketing department. We think you would use your own. Just saying. But your
but their artwork may not complement this type of canvas.
Correct. Yeah. Or you're a local insurance agent and you don't have your own
Right.
person or a civic organization, it's $2,500, and that includes
everything.
And this is also the installation,
Right.
The maintenance.
Yeah.
If this thing gets damaged or anything, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. There's and the vendor also has some warranty on it as well, because we understood from Valparaiso there was one that had a bubble and they had to go and redo it all, and it didn't cost Valparaiso anything else, nor the sponsor of the box. So it's really a nice little program. The sponsors will, for lack of a better word, have a plaque that will say who's sponsoring the box.
Right.
But again, this isn't going to be, a giant logo or a picture of Chuck Gardner's face or anything like that. Okay,
could that be our? That would be fun.
So
that would cause many accidents.
Could you imagine
on
all the
road?
pieces of gum that could be stuck on that face? That just really neat. So, no, very good. But again, this is really an exciting program. It's called Electrifying Munster Beauty in the Box program. It is brought to you by the Munster Civic Foundation. The Civic Foundation is one of those groups and towns that's really looking to improve the community spirit and partnership throughout the town and enhance the quality of life in the town of Munster. So, again, we asked you to be involved. Liz.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I didn't know how much time we had.
We have about 3 to 4 minutes left, so we just kind of want to start wrapping up here a little bit.
Yes.
But that's great. Let's add some more information.
But what I want to say, and this is not a self-plug, but kind of. But anyway, I'm a realtor. People that aren't necessarily familiar with Munster look for things like this, like the music program, like the arts and everything, because it adds to the overall aesthetic of the community that they want to live in. This is a huge addition to the community.
quality of life, quality of place.
Yes, and I think those are two very important terms. Sometimes I have a hard time defining what quality of life means or quality of place. But again, the more you get into seeing how towns operate and why people move to towns, what makes people happy in towns, it is that quality of life.
Yeah, things to do, pretty things to look at, making sure the town is maintained well and that the community is involved. These are all very much qualities that people desire, and that's what makes Munster so cool.
Yeah, and again, that's what we're so excited about this program. Deanne, what would you like to do to finish up this program?
Sell 34 boxes by next Tuesday, but again, I don't live in a perfect world.
We'll do it.
Yeah, well, we will do this.
We're on it.
If you have any questions, though, the Civic Foundation does have an email address. It's civicfoundation@munster.org.
Yeah.
Very creative. Civicfoundation@munster.org. We will start putting this information out on our socials. WJOB this morning is actually this is the introduction to this.
Yes.
So if
breaking news.
Breaking news. Oh, we need that little music.
Yeah.
And if you know of, like Liz alluded to, if you know of an artist, if you are a junior high school student or a high schooler or a college student and want to be included on this, please do so. The application is not difficult.
No.
Okay, applying for a passport is more difficult than this is. Okay, so let's start it out. Let's get this all buzzing and rolling, and hopefully we'll be back here to tell you that we sold out.
Well, and at the same time, the call for artists is here, but we're also again calling for businesses, calling for leaders in the community that want to see these boxes and see the initial implementation of this plan. We're kind of shooting for maybe 10 or 12 of them. But hey, it doesn't say if it's 15 or so. Let's get that excitement out there. So if you have a business in town or a group in town or just a group of people in town, maybe it's your neighborhood that wants to get together to really show, because again, there's some street lights that are near neighborhoods. At Briar Creek Subdivision is one
Munster
of them.
HOAs, you're going to be hearing from us. Yes.
Again, anything is, and certainly if you have any questions, let us know. I'll give out my email address. It's cgardiner@munster.org. If you have any questions about the things that were talked about on today's show, just feel free to let me know. Or civicfoundation@munster.org is another way to get a hold of us.
And you summed it up really good there.
Yeah.
Well,
except garbage pickup again for next week.
yeah. Just remember, next week is Memorial Day, and because it's a national holiday, garbage pickup is a day later. So, once again, if it's Monday pickup, it's typically on Monday. What is it?
Tuesday.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for watching This Week in Munster. This is the show that we highlight, promote, and kind of explain different things that are going on in the town of Munster. I want to thank Liz and Dion for their time today. My name is Chuck Gardner, and luckily for the people listening and viewing the show, next time on, I think it's Tuesday, June 3rd, you'll be back to the regular host. Dave Nellens will be back here hosting the show. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.
You've been listening to the Town of Munster podcasts, coming to you from the JED TV studios on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. Thank you for listening.